Hello everyone, my name is Colleen and I am an occupational therapy student at Tennessee State University. I wanted to create this video to just kind of give some insight and some education to caregivers of children or toddlers between ages 1 and 4 of how to create a sensory-friendly environment in your home. So sensory processing is our body has all these different sensory receptors. So when my hand touches my hand, my brain feels that. So I'm touching it and then information is going back into my brain. My brain is saying, hey, your hand is touching your hand. This is fine. So these can be broken down into two basic categories. So there's hypersensitivity and hyposensitivity. Hypersensitivity is basically broken down as they are avoiding one of these senses. Now this fan above me, it's a very soothing, quiet spinning. Now let's say if it was clicking and ticking, tick, 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 tick. So individuals that are hypersensitive to sound might become overstimulated by this. That is an example of hypersensitivity. Hyposensitivity is, imagine the opposite. Let's use the example of body awareness. This kiddo wants to feel pressure and is bulldozing into people, things, objects. They're seeking that input. They really, really want that. Those are just some examples of hypersensitivity, which is avoidant, and hyposensitivity, which is seeking. There are in total 8 senses, but today we're just going to highlight 6. There is vision, touch, taste, smell, hearing, vestibular, proprioception, and interoception. So I would say the first step, if your kiddo is having some visual sensitivity, is changing the colors and patterns of the rooms. Lighting, clutter, organization within the room, and just kind of how the room is set up. So with colors and patterns in the design of the room, high contrast colors and busy patterns can easily overwhelm someone with autism or sensory processing disorders. So with toddlers, you might think, like toddlers 1 to 4, bright colors, bright this, and vibrant, and just have all the different patterns and colors. We want to reduce that. We also want to reduce clutter, reduce the options available for toys as well, because these kiddos are exploring, they're putting all these different things in their mouth, they're playing, they're learning. So if there are too many options, this could be very overstimulating visually for kiddos with sensory processing with vision. So let's talk about sound and smell. So this is very important for sensory-friendly environments. So sound is extremely important for toddlers in regard to their learning, they're exploring their environment, and if it is really noisy or if they're unable to regulate or they're becoming overstimulated with the environment being too loud, one thing that you could do is soundproofing. So if the individual is often overwhelmed by sound and by noise, you want to do what you can to minimize the amount of sound that makes it into their room. So consider installing soundproofing door kit. Could be great, especially if there's a lot of traffic in the home, if there's a lot of kiddos, if there's dogs, cats. Another option you could try is a white noise machine. That constant sound can be soothing and can help block out more disruptive noises. And also in regard to smell is aromatherapy, right? So essential oil diffusers and other aromatherapy can enhance calm, quiet spaces. However, we want to be careful we are not doing too much. If they're hypersensitive, you want to ease into things like this. Now let's talk about touch. There are so many things out there for touch. You want to make sure that you're having soft surfaces and comfy furniture. Bean bags are phenomenal. Having a soft fuzzy rug, having a lot of soft, comfortable furniture in their space. You also have a lot of things like sensory walls. So you could purchase these on Amazon, but having all these different texture wall tiles is a great idea too. So here's an example of some texture wall tiles that could be really beneficial for your kiddo. So with toddlers in that 1 to 4 range, that that touch, tactile, is really important throughout all the developmental stages. Whether they're crawling on a soft, fuzzy rug, or they're just learning to stand and they want to prop up and they want to just reach for something on the wall that's fuzzy or enjoyable, right? Tactile is super important. And definitely look into the developmental stages and the milestones that your child is going through, and you can plan your room according. So Pinterest is your best friend. You could look at so many different designs for sensory rooms, and sensory approved websites can help with designing this type of tactile room. We have vestibular and we have proprioceptive. So vestibular is movement and proprioceptive is body awareness. So someone who has, vestibular or proprioceptive challenges might get dizzy easily or tire quickly. Sometimes people might have poor body posture, or they might prefer to sit or lay down rather than stand. Or with vestibular and proprioception in toddlers, we want to be aware of the developmental milestones, okay? So a 4-year-old is going to be a little bit different than a 1-year-old, right? So we want to make sure that we're setting up that sensory-friendly environment based off their age. So definitely talk to your pediatrician about that. If you have an occupational therapist or a specialist in, autism or sensory processing disorder that you're working with, talk to them a little bit more specifically about what type of items. Also, we want to make sure that we're supervising during any types of rough and tumble play. So, for example, if they have a weighted teddy bear or a weighted item, right, we want to be supervising. Sometimes these items can be used inappropriately, and we just want to make sure our kiddo is safe. So, with toddlers, and they're going from 1 to 4, they're learning to walk, they're learning to run, and they're, getting all these fine motor and gross motor skills developing. We want to encourage that in this sensory-friendly environment that's going to meet their needs vestibularly and proprioceptively. And that concludes our video. Thank you so much for stopping by, and please check below for our resources and websites that we recommend for your sensory-friendly room. Have a good day. Hello everyone, my name is Colleen Lashinsky.